Alright. Here we go. Almost ready to deploy, but first, we gotta have our supports. So, let's settle in and get to know everyone in the Golden Deer House.
Hey, Teach. I see you're as stony-faced as usual. I can't tell if you're feeling resigned or if you're just lost in thought. Or maybe you simply don't care about anything that's going on. Oh, sorry. I really didn't mean to be rude. I just find you fascinating. Actually, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Can you spare some time?
Sure. Why not?
That's just the sort of attitude I'd expect from a new teacher. Speaking of, before you came here, you were a mercenary, right? Always getting your hands dirty on the battlefield and whatnot? It's a bit unusual that you suddenly decided to become a teacher one day. In any case, I've been meaning to ask, did your father teach you how to fight?
I guess so.
I figured. Your father used to lead the knights, didn't he? And I hear he was a legendary mercenary as well. It must have been hard on your mother when you followed in your father's footsteps and became a mercenary too.
Well, about that, Claude.
I see. I suppose you grew up moving from battlefield to battlefield with your father then. You know, for someone who's right around the same age as me, you certainly have an unusual amount of composure. I guess it's only natural that you'd be different from young nobles who grew up in the lap of luxury.
Yeah, you don't seem like a noble either, Claude.
Well, even so, I am heir to House Regan, the leading family of the Alliance. But I didn't exactly grow up in luxury like most people of noble blood. Hey, maybe that's why you and I get along so well. Folks like us should stick together. As house leader, I'll do all I can to help you out. We can start by making time for more little chats like this.
Alright, that was simple enough. Let's keep it going with Lorenz.
Professor, I understand that you were looking to speak with me. Perhaps you would like some insight on how to write your next lecture? While I do have a great many ideas, it would be inappropriate to... Oh, am I mistaken? If that's the case, then what can I do for you?
About the female students, Lorenz.
The ladies have complained? To you? About me? Preposterous. There must be some mistake. I am the heir of the noble House Gloucester. It is bred in me to treat all people with respect. Rest assured, you will not find anyone more upstanding than yours truly. Perhaps the issue is that the splendor of my noble presence is driving the ladies to distraction. If that is the crime, I do confess. I hope I've not troubled the ladies' hearts unduly.
It's your advances, Lorenz.
Outrageous! That's absurd! Who would dare to allege such slander?
Oh god. A number of them, apparently.
Well, I suppose I have offered several of them the honor of dining with me. It is impossible to tell if even the most well-bred young lady is a suitable companion for me, merely by the sight of her. So, in order for us to get to know each other properly, it is appropriate that we dine together. Thus far, they have all declined, oddly enough. For some reason, they seem to be exercising some form of restraint when speaking with me. I would never insist, of course. But I will admit I have, on occasion, after a day's pause, issued repeat invitations, in the fashion and style of a gentleman.
Lorenz, that is the problem. Hey, Michael. See, the thing about Lawrence that I've learned about him so far, in just this very brief time, is that he's got some nice ideas about what being a noble means. Only insofar as when he talks about, like, protecting the people. But then this happens, and my god, he deserves that haircut.
What? Ridiculous! Dinner invitations from me a problem? The very idea. I am a perfect gentleman, the son of a noble line. I've a wit like a rapier, and it takes but a glance to see that I'm gorgeous. No, I cannot believe such a thing. Are you sure this isn't the result of some sort of scheme? It cannot be otherwise. Someone has clearly devised a conspiracy against me.
God.
Someone who envies my position, who seeks to soil my sterling reputation with foul rumors. How crude. Please, Professor, it is beneath you to fall victim to such petty and obscene tactics. I implore you to take greater care in the future. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a great deal of work to do. Farewell.
Oh, he's gonna have to do so much work if he wants to, if he ever wants to endear himself to me. Meanwhile, let's meet with someone better. You can tell he's good because of the music.
Oh, Professor, are you here to train?
Raphael is an absolute unit. Yeah, sure, we came to train.
I knew it! Gotta train daily. Legs, back, chest, arms, abs. Gotta work them all, right? I just finished training, and I feel great. Check me out. Are my muscles bulging?
I guess, I mean, come on. What are these two options? Have you seen his shirt?
Another day of training, and my muscles are ready to burst. Bulging muscles means strength. I have to be strong if I want to be a proper knight. And I have to eat if I want to keep training. Time to feast.
Studying is also important, you know.
Way to hit me where it hurts, Professor. I know I'll be in trouble if I don't train my brain, too. Anyone who can't get tactics can't be a proper knight. It's just, I'm no good at remembering that kind of stuff. And training my brain instead of my body makes me sleepy. What if I start training twice as hard? Then I should only have to study half as much, right?
I don't think it works that way, Raphael. You gotta study. You're in school.
I can't let that happen. I guess I have no choice. I'll prove I can do it. Wish me luck, Professor. For my training and for my studies.
See, now there's a good lad. Right. Now Ignatz, who I actually know nothing about. Didn't get to have any supports with him in the last session. I guess we're just gonna stare over his shoulder.
Okay, I've decided on the composition. That's right, the composition for my next paint. Wait, Professor? How long have you been standing there? You haven't been watching me, have you? No, I misspoke. Did I say painting? I meant to say,
You know, something about Ignatz's haircut, I gotta say, has always made me think, like at first glance, that he's just kind of an elf. Like the way his hair partially covers his ear in his portrait almost makes it look like it's he's got a pointed ear, like an elf. Well, he's got a chance for a glow up with the time skip, but we'll see when we get there. I don't remember. I know he appeared in the last playthrough, but I completely forgot already. Anyway, Ignatz paints.
well,
What a
I
surprise.
thought for a while that it might be nice to paint the scenery here. The contours of that tree, set against the stark shapes of the faraway peaks. Of course, I only paint after I've finished my chores. I'd never put my art before my responsibilities. My studies are paramount. I shall always uphold my duties as a student of the Officers' Academy. Whereas art is a hobby of mine, you might say. Everyone has hobbies, right? I'm sure you have one.
Come on, what are these options? Violet's hobby is obviously fishing.
Oh, well, perhaps it's different for you, Professor. But it's perfectly normal for people to have hobbies. Reading, for instance, or fishing, or taking midday naps.
Fishing!
For me, it's making art. Hobbies are healthy. They're a good way of relieving stress.
Actually, I want to pause just to point out that reading, fishing, and taking midday naps, those are all exactly Linhart's hobbies. They're kindred spirits after a fashion. Except Linhart's a way funnier nerd. Based on what I've seen so far. I don't want to jump to any conclusions about Ignatz here.
You might consider taking up a hobby, Professor. Anything to clear your mind. Think about it. It's much easier to focus if you're feeling refreshed. There isn't a rule against hobbies, is there? If you tell me to stop, I'll stop. I shall never again put brush to canvas.
Alright, is he also, like, a pushover? Like, dude, have a spine. It's a hobby. You just said you do all your work as a student before. So, paint as much as you like, my dude.
Really? It's okay for me to paint?
Chase your bliss.
Well, I mean, if you're sure. But really, it's nothing more than a little diversion, a frivolous pastime. I think I ought to go back to my quarters now, if it's all the same to you.
Alright. Lysithea.
Honestly, what do they all take me for? I'm fine. Perfectly and completely fine. It's hardly different from daytime. I'm not scared. Ah! Ghost! Hang on. Professor? Is that you? Oh, well, good evening!
Well, to be fair to Lysithea, we do have the nickname, the Ashen Demon, which is not very far from a ghost, in terms of spooky things. So, where are you headed, Lysithea?
Oh, I left something in the dining hall, so I'm on my way to fetch it. But you don't need to come with me or anything like that. I'm fine on my own, really.
I wasn't planning on it.
You weren't? Oh, apologies for making an assumption.
You're just going to the dining hall.
Everyone I come across asks if I'd like some company. They all seem to think I'll be scared wandering alone at night. So rude and presumptuous, you know? I'm perfectly capable of being on my own.
Yeah, okay. See you later.
Hey, Professor, wait! Well, I thought it might be nice to walk and talk together to the dining hall, shall we? To be abundantly clear, this has nothing to do with my non-existent fear of ghosts.
You know, I'm gonna tease her a bit. You know, I'm a little busy.
Oh, are you on patrol? You should probably patrol on over to the dining hall then. Wonderful.
Oh,
After all,
fine.
there's lots of very important food stored there.
But thou must.
Do you mind, filling the void with some chatter? Some find silence to be a bit unsettling after all.
Alright, what am I talking about?
Okay, I confess, I am scared of ghosts. The monastery is unnerving to me at night. So, can we talk about something, please? Anything. I've noticed for quite some time now, you treat all your students equally, don't you? You've never treated me differently simply because I'm younger than the others. And I've always appreciated that.
You're younger?
Isn't it rather obvious? I'm roughly 2 to 3
I like
years
that.
younger than the rest of the class. Have you just not been paying close enough attention to those you teach? That's poor form for a professor. Oh, there! I found what I was looking for. Well, I better be on my way now. Good night.
Well. Sure was funny how quickly she cracked at her fear of ghosts.
Dear goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, I suppose you came by to pray too?
Yeah, a little bit. Sure, why not?
I see. That's why I'm here too.
So what were you praying for?
Oh, nothing specific. I only call upon the goddess to give thanks, or perhaps to ask for protection. Anyhow, I should be on my way.
I don't know about that. She did say she was looking for guidance. That's not the same as thanks or basic protection. Let's chat.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't really know what to say. I'm not very good at talking to people. The truth is, I didn't interact with people too often before I came here.
Don't worry, Marianne. As a fictional character, it is my obligation as a player to make sure that you interact with people as often as possible. Specifically me, but also the others. But primarily me.
Oh, no particular reason. I'm simply not very good at it. That's just how I am.
Well, don't worry about it. We can fix that.
Thank you. I'm sorry. You shouldn't waste your time worrying about me. Please, just ignore me. I, have to be going now. Goodbye, Professor.
Alright. Hilda. 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 Hilda.
Hey, Professor, what are you doing daydreaming in a place like this? It's lucky. As spacey as you are, you're always reliable in a pinch.
I wasn't daydreaming.
Sure. Then what were you thinking about? It's hard to tell what's going on in that skull of yours. Your expression is always blank. Come on, smile. I was just playing around. Don't get mad. By the way, in the next battle, may I focus on logistical support? Off the battlefield, there's no use having a weakling like me in the middle of the action, and it would bring down morale if I were killed.
Hilda, you're not a weakling.
Have you even seen me, Professor? Look at these noodly little arms! I should be cheering everyone on from the sidelines. It'll certainly improve the boys' morale, don't you think?
Let's take the gentler. Why don't you want to fight?
Because even if I do, I won't be of any help. My big brother is the type of person who's supposed to be on the battlefield. For me, it's just a waste of energy. It's pointless. Everyone's cut out for something different. The right person for the right task, you know? Please, Professor. Keep me off the battlefield, and maybe I won't tell everyone you were daydreaming.
Wow, trying to blackmail your professor, Hilda. Bold move. See if it pays off for you.
Oh, Professor, are you training too? I was just about to finish up, but if you want to join in, I can stick around a while longer.
You don't have to stay just for me, Leonie.
Oh no, it's fine. Just do your thing. Don't mind me. Come on, don't be shy. Phew. I'm beat, but we're finally done.
You didn't have to stay for the whole routine.
I was here and I finished right alongside you. Guess I outlasted you, huh?
It's not a competition, Leonie.
Speak for yourself. I'm always looking to improve. By the way, Professor, something I wanted to ask.
Oh, alright, let's hear it. What you got?
Are you really Captain Gerald's kid?
Wow, going straight for it, huh? That's what I'm told.
That's a pretty detached tone to take about your own family. What's your opinion of him, then? You must look up to him, at least.
Yeah, we'll just give him respect.
It doesn't sound like you really appreciate him. You didn't even know until you came here that he used to lead the Knights of Ceros, did you? If it weren't for him, you wouldn't be half the person you are now.
I guess that's technically
you probably
true.
never even thought about how lucky you are. Oh, okay, this really bothers me. Listen up. I don't care if you're the teacher and I'm the student. I'm going to outshine you. I know you were some famous mercenary before you came here, but let me tell you something. I'm going to be better than you ever were. In fact, I'll surpass you in no time at all. So don't blink. You might miss it.
Right? But then again, we are talking about Violet's dad. Like, it is very weird for him to not have been told these things. Even though it's not Violet's fault, excuse me, Boyleth's fault. It is still weird. Mostly on Gerald, though, what I'm trying to say. Anyway, enough of that string. Let's have some more fun with Claude.
You. Just what are you up to?
I don't like your tone, Lorenz.
Well, if it isn't Lawrence.
Yes, it is. Try not to sound so affronted. And you're just whimsically wandering the monastery grounds again, I suppose?
Oh, naturally. After all, I really do adore the Garrick Mock Monastery.
Sometimes it does seem like Boyleth might have just spawned fully grown. But there is that bit that that mentions like a baby. And that baby is like a week ago. Well, I know there's some support conversations where I think with Sedith, possibly with Sedith, maybe with Hanneman, they both kind of investigate into Boyleth's past. And one of the options you can say is that you've been fighting as a mercenary for like 5 or 10 years. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's not. Okay, but the key thing is that you're supposed to be like 20 years old. So have you been fighting as a mercenary since you were 10? Mysteries abound.
No, I think not. That impish look on your face does not suggest innocence. You are up to something.
Lawrence, control yourself. Let's not start throwing around baseless accusations. It's not proper. This monastery is packed with 1,000 years of history. Well, 5 years shy of 1,000 if we're going for accuracy. Those pillars, these walls, even the floor, they've all seen more than we can possibly imagine. Our distant ancestors may have walked these very halls. Doesn't that excite you?
Perhaps if this were a discussion about art, but I'm afraid walls and floors are not sufficiently interesting to hold my attention. Nor will they suffice to distract me from what is plainly suspicious about you.
That is a very good question. All Mohawk. He leaves it down for school. I could see that. 'Cause I can't figure out any other explanation for what's going on there. With that extremely angular cut.
House Regan was on the brink of collapse until they suddenly revealed you as their legitimate heir. That was only a year ago. Where were you before then? Are you even a true heir to House Regan?
If I weren't truly of House Regan descent, how do you imagine I acquired my crest?
A crest is insufficient. I am referring to your noble disposition or lack thereof.
Well, that's what I came here to hone, after all. I can only hope that you will assent to instruct me in the art of snobbery, Professor Lorenz.
I do not think you grasp the significance of the responsibility
Oh,
you bear.
man.
Do you even know what it means to lead the Leicester Alliance?
I like
I
Claude.
take no pleasure in saying this, but much of the chaos in our ranks right now is due to the failings of House Regan's leadership. I intend to set things right, and once I expose you for the fraud you are and reclaim my rightful place, that is precisely what I will do. To be blunt, it would have been better had you never shown your face here.
Oh, wow.
Sheesh, that guy. He just can't be reasoned with.
Remember that thing I said about how Lawrence is going to have to do some work to endear himself to me? He's not doing it yet. So far, not so good. Oh no. The worst part is,
There we go.
I can believe
Time
it.
for a break.
Hey, Raphael.
I'm trying not to think
What
about
all
it,
you've got
but
there?
it makes sense.
It was my turn to do the shopping again, but I might have overdone it.
Aren't those trips usually for food supplies? Why did you pick up a bunch of spears and gauntlets as well?
I was passing by the smithy, and the old man called me over. He said he was finished repairing the training weapons, so I grabbed them since I was already there.
I see. And those books?
I had just left the smithy when I ran into a merchant I recognized. He said he had some books that he brought for the library, so I took them off his hands.
Right. And that desk?
Oh, this? Can you believe someone threw this away? It only needs a little work and it'll be good as new. Someone around here was just saying that they needed a desk.
Of course. Now, this is just a friendly observation, but I see surprisingly little of the food supplies that we actually need.
Well, I worked up an appetite from carrying all this stuff, so I had a snack on my way back.
Raphael, I appreciate the thought, but you can't get so carried away with helping out like that. You helped us all right out of dinner. And now that I've seen your struggle, I have no choice but to join in this vicious cycle of charity. Here, I'll lend you a hand.
All of this stuff is pretty heavy. Are you sure you can handle it?
You insult me. And no, I can't. I'll only carry the books and offer my support as you handle the rest.
Yep, just further reaffirming for me that Claude is great and Raphael is great.
Ah! Claude, why didn't you say anything?
You were praying so fervently, I didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I wasn't praying.
No? What then?
I was just thinking about the goddess.
Were you now? Fascinating. Please, go on.
Not here. Let's go somewhere else.
So, you
Hmm.
were pondering the existence of the goddess then?
Yes.
Ah,
Alright,
okay.
Consider this. The archives here have all kinds of texts about the goddess, right? But when people tell stories of the goddess, it's only myths and legends that glorify her.
They probably hope to rake in more followers by glorifying the goddess as much as possible. That would be why the church tends to quietly shove all of their more questionable records under some secret rug somewhere.
Claude, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just wondering what the goddess looks like. That's the kind of thing I like to think about.
What the goddess looks like? Well, I suppose if she really exists, she probably looks a lot like us. In fact, she probably wouldn't be so different from that old woman working here in the dining hall.
What? Claude, please stop. The goddess I imagine is absolutely beautiful.
How rude of you, Ignatz. I'm sure that old woman was lovely back in her day.
Wow. That was a direction I didn't quite anticipate. But it does line up with Claude's distinct weakness in the faith skill.
Is the water supposed to be this cold? God, my hand slipped again.
Hey, what's that noise? What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm sorry, okay?
Claude, what are you
Mess
doing?
I've gotten myself into.
What happened, Claude? You're soaked.
The student whose turn it was to do the dishes today was ill, so I volunteered to take his place. The dining hall lady was on my case the whole time for breaking plates and getting water everywhere. Actually, not everywhere, mostly on myself. It was just one big mess. It wore me right out, too. I could really use a nap about now.
You might be a noble with a fancy bloodline, but you sure don't act the part.
Being noble or common doesn't have anything to do with washing dishes.
Ho, I dare say most nobles would refuse to do it.
Got a point there.
I prefer it your way. You don't act like you're better than everyone.
I'm honored that you acknowledge my greatness. And I'm rather fond of your blunt way of praising a person's strengths, too.
Really? To be honest, I don't actually trust my own ability to read people. I like to look for the good in them, but that doesn't always mean it's really there. I mean, you seem like a good person, but your heart could be black for all I know.
You say you can't figure people out, but what you said just now was pretty shrewd. It's wise not to trust appearances alone.
I'll keep that in mind. Though, I'm not sure I should be taking advice from someone covered in dish suds.
Ah, yeah, I see your point.
That's supposed to be a sneeze? Well, whatever. Okay, let's hear more of Lorenz.
Lysithea, do you have a moment? There is a matter of significance I'd like to discuss with you.
I know you're always seeking the attention of ladies, but why are you wasting your breath on me?
Don't be silly. I want to discuss the future of the Alliance, to have a constructive and candid exchange of opinion.
I'm not so sure I'm the one being silly. Actually, I'm busy. Stuff to do.
Now, hold on just a moment. House Ordelia will never benefit from such a narrow-minded mentality.
I was under the impression you were interested in me as a person. What do house matters have to do with anything?
As it stands, the bonds between Alliance lords are quite weak. If this state of affairs persists, I'm afraid those bonds may dissolve entirely.
Almost as if, say, a war were to break out. And, some of the Alliance Lords would go to one side and others would go to the other side and create a big mess. That could never happen.
I couldn't care less.
House Ordelia may be small, but a small house is fettered by fewer obligations than a larger one. Apply yourselves actively in diplomacy, negotiate wisely, and you could do much to help maintain peace among the neighboring lords. The recognition of those lords would benefit your house immensely. To that end, why not start with me, the heir to House Gloucester? It couldn't hurt for us to become friends, could it?
Yes, of course, when the time comes. But right now, I'm quite busy. Maybe later. As it is, I'm studying magic for the benefit of the Alliance, and I would appreciate it if you left me to it.
Ah, I see. Then forgive the intrusion. I will take my leave of you for now. But if there is any way I can be of help, to you or your house, I hope that you won't hesitate to ask. After all, as I'm sure you know, the future of the Alliance is my responsibility.
The future, he says. As though I have a future.
Oh, what could she mean?
Hello, Marianne. You're well, I hope?
I am Lorenz. Thank you.
I cannot help but notice you do not look it.
Is that so? I feel fine.
You trying to do, Lorenz?
Was there something you needed?
How unseemly of me. My apologies. It is not my intention to stare.
Does something about me seem off?
Oh, not at all. I was just remembering your father. Or rather, comparing my experience of him to you. Your father, Margrave Edmund. He is one of the shrewdest nobles in all the Alliance, with a noted gift for pointed speech. on and beyond the battlefield, his words have the power to move friend and foe alike. My own father has said he would not want to make an enemy of him. Naturally, I am of the same mind. Your father is blessed with gifts of confidence and eloquence, yet compared to him, you seem always reticent and downcast. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cause you discomfort. It's just that the contrast between you and your father is striking.
I have very little in common with my adoptive father.
But he sent you to Garrick Mach. Clearly, he sees potential in you. I think I see it too. Yes, a certain charm, gravitas, if you will. Just like him.
Oh no. You really added in the
I
sparkles.
can't say that I know too much about him. I should be going now.
Yes, of course. Please, take care. Oh, such grace, such serenity. How could such a beauty be hiding in plain sight? With a little polish, she would shine magnificently.
You really saw her hidden shoujo shine. Anyway, let's move on to the good lad. Our wonderful friend Raphael.
Yes! Time for food! Hey, Ignatz! Is this seat taken?
Oh, hey, Raphael. I'm done eating, so you can sit here if you like.
Really? But there's still food on your plate.
It's fine. I'm not that hungry. Anyway, I guess I'll be heading off.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ignatz! Wanna train with me?
Oh my, that equipment's looking rusty. Let me fetch some oil.
What's the matter? It always looks like that. Come on, we'll take care of it later.
Nope, you have to do it as soon as you notice. There's oil in the warehouse. I'll be right back.
Hey, Ignatz!
Hello, Raphael.
Are you busy? I need to talk to you.
No, that's... Oh, almost forgot. It's time to return this book to the library. I'll just...
Hey, hold up. Are you seriously gonna keep running away from me?
What? No, I'm not running.
Yes, you are. Every time I try to talk to you, you make up some excuse and run. What's going on? You were a lot friendlier to me when we were kids. You were always so excited to show me all the neat stuff you had whenever I came to visit. We'd play hide and seek with my little sis, draw pictures, and do other fun stuff too. Remember all that?
Things can't be the way they were. It's regrettable, but it's the truth.
Regrettable? What's there to regret?
I mean, you know, what happened to your parents? My parents are the reason your parents died.
What are you talking about? My parents died in an accident while traveling for work.
Maybe so, but they were taking over for mine, because they had other business that day and couldn't go themselves. So, they recommended yours to fill in for them.
Huh. I didn't know that. But what does that have to do with our friendship?
No, but see,
Oh, I see. But we're done talking about this. You gotta stop beating yourself up over it. It was an accident.
He's just putting on a brave face. No one is that forgiving.
I'm sure Raphael is exactly that forgiving. You know, seeing the two of them together, like side by side like that, just reminds me of those comics of the jock and the nerd, the really wholesome ones. You probably know what I'm talking about. Hopefully, I know they made the rounds on Twitter for a good while. I assume elsewhere in the various forms of social media. Anyway, Raphael and Lysithea.
This theory just isn't coming together.
Or
The
jock
thought
and nerd
behind it is
stuff.
sound enough, but
Hey, Lysithea! Your forehead's all wrinkled. You look tense. Is something wrong? You know you can tell your big bro you know you can tell me anything, right?
Raphael, while I appreciate your offer, I'm not so sure you'll be much help here.
What does that mean? Oh, Are you researching something complicated? In that case, yeah, you're probably right. Is there something else I can help you with? I'm really good at other things, like training.
I have absolutely zero interest in such things.
I have an idea. Do you want to get real good at playing tag? I can teach you.
Playing tag?
There's a trick to it that most people don't know. Like to not get tagged and stuff. Let me show you. It's too sunny to spend all day inside studying. Come on, Big Bro's gonna take you outside.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else. What nerve you have too calling yourself Big Bro, like I'm your little sister or some nonsense. Just cut the act.
Did I really say that out loud?
Anyway, my grades are miles better than yours. If you want to play the part of Big Brother, you'd probably benefit from studying way, way more.
Like I said, I'm really good at other things. Just not classroom learning.
I can't stand all the excuses. Clearly, you're the little kid here. You got all that? Now don't bother me again. Understood? Bye.
She must be going through a rebellious phase.
Oh, wow. Also, did she just storm out of her own room? Is that what just happened there? Anyway.
Hey, Marianne, what you eating? Mind if I join you? I'm starving.
Huh? Oh,
All my favorite dishes are on the menu today. I might have grabbed too much. You want some?
no thanks.
All you've got on your plate are leaves. Are you sure that'll fill you up?
I'm done eating now. I have to go.
Huh? You're already done eating? But there's still food on your plate. Hey, Marianne! Huh. Maybe she's not feeling well. I should probably go check on her later.
Oh, is that so? I'm so happy you found all of that food. A little gray starling told me that you can find berries if you fly out toward the mountains.
Oh, I found Marianne. I didn't know she spent her time here. It sounds like she's talking to someone.
What's that? You want to try some nectar from the flowers in the greenhouse? That might be tricky. I guess you could try it if I'm already there. Otherwise, you might get locked in.
Hey, Marianne! Who are you talking to? Huh? Oh, the birdie flew off.
Yes, it looks like he has. What are you doing here, Raphael?
You were acting a little strange when we were eating earlier, so I wanted to check on you. I was worried.
That's sweet of you, but I'm fine.
Are you sure? Well, that's good to hear. As long as... Wait a minute! Were you just talking to a bird?
Excuse me?
Oh, Raphael.
I knew it! You can talk to birds! I'm right, aren't I?
Yes.
That's incredible! This place is full of interesting folks, but I didn't think anyone spoke birdie.
No, that's not it. This bird just happened to be speaking human.
Amazing! I hope I get to meet a bird who speaks human one day.
What a pure lad. Just, how could anyone not like him? I don't think anyone has suggested that they don't like him.
Is that everything?
Yes, that's the last of them. Thank you, Marianne. Just when I thought all the laundry was dry, the wind got stronger, and by the time I realized what was happening, there were clothes dancing across the sky.
That must have been frustrating to watch.
I didn't imagine they would float all the way to the stables. Thanks again for helping me pick them up.
It was no trouble. They landed right at my feet.
Well, now I can hang it all back up before sunset. Everything should be dry by the day's end. All right, I should get to...
Are you alright?
Uh-huh. The hamper's just a little heavier than it looks. Do you think you could give me a hand? Whew, we got here just in time. Thanks for the help hanging everything up.
It was nothing.
Huh.
Oh, awkward silences.
What is it?
I'm sorry. I know I'm not much fun to be around. I'm not very good at small talk either.
But she is good at talking to small things, like birds.
Oh, no, that's all right. After all, just look over there.
Huh? Oh, the flowers are lovely.
They were mere buds until just the other day. Now look at those gorgeous blooms.
How wonderful.
If we'd been chatting away, we might never have noticed them. Sure, the laundry was an ordeal, but at least there was a silver lining.
Okay, so she likes flowers. That's good to know. Hilda. Alright. Get Hilda back in the action.
Hey, Ignatz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Ready to start cleaning?
No, that's all right. Actually, I'm just finishing up.
Oh, it's true. Look how tidy everything is. You've done such a marvelous job. I'm glad I didn't get in your way.
Thank you very much. So anyway, you can go now. You were talking to your friend, right? I just have some things to put away. It's okay, I can manage without you.
Oh, Ignatz, I thought I saw someone earlier. That was you, wasn't it? You know, I'd have been willing to help. You could have just said, hey, let's go and clean.
It's all right, you were having a conversation. I didn't want to sneak up like I was eavesdropping, and really, I didn't need help.
Oh, Ignatz, you darling. You're so considerate. Thank you so very much.
Glad to be of service. I'll start putting all this away.
Not so fast.
What's the matter?
Aren't you overdoing it? Don't you think you might be taking on too much,
Oh, I didn't expect to hear that from you.
Let me give you some advice. It's true that I like to delegate as many tasks as I possibly can, but when someone helps me, I make sure to lavish them with praise as a reward for their hard work. So, then we come out even. On the other hand, look what almost happened just now. You did all that work for me, and I almost missed it. Now, where would that leave you? With no praise, no thanks. You'd be losing out.
Personally, I'd prefer to lose out, rather than inconvenience someone else. For instance, I'd have felt terrible for intruding on your important conversation earlier. Consider the negligible loss to me versus the major inconvenience to you. Personal loss is always going to be the better choice.
Oh, Ignatz.
Huh. Well, if that's how you feel, then I'm not sure how to convince you otherwise.
Not the people pleaser. Lysithea and Hilda.
Aw, are you sure? Thank you so much. You're always so kind to me. I'll have to repay you sometime. Lysithea? What are you doing there? Don't tell me you were listening just now and judging me getting other people to do my work for me. I've got better things to do. Although, I do wonder why everyone is always so eager to help you. I only ask for help if they offer. I don't ever pressure people. So I've noticed. That's what strikes me as odd. I suppose they're just so taken with me, they want to help me out. I see. That would explain it. Oh dear, I was expecting you to argue, not to agree with me right away. There's no reason to deny what's clearly true. Everything about your outward appearance is immaculate and well thought out. Even your fingernails are always well kept and painted. No doubt your toenails are the same.
I can't tell if you're complimenting me or accusing me of something. And you smell delightful, like candy. Or wait, am I catching a hint of floral? I'm so glad you noticed. It's oil extracted from a flower that only blooms at night. Floral oils, huh? I didn't think they had much use outside of homeopathy and house cleaning. I have some right here, actually. Here, I can give you a splash. There we go. I put it on your wrists, so you'll want to rub them together. Body heat is what activates the scent. Your wrists and your neck are relatively warm, so they're good spots to apply the fragrance. For a very subtle fragrance, you can also try putting it under your clothing. So, what do you think? It's lovely. Now I smell just like you, Hilda.
That's a weird way of putting it.
Somehow, this makes me feel a little more mature. Thank you. So that's it. She just wants to feel more grown up. She's hard to read, that one. That smile, though. Who knew she could be so cute?
Just a couple of gals being pals. One is happy to smell like the other thinks that the first one is cute. Gals being pals.
Why do I have to clean the library? It looks like you're not busy. I was quite busy sampling pastries, I'll have you know. Who wants to sort books anyway? They're so bulky and heavy, it takes forever to lug them around. Right, Marianne? You agree with me, right? No, I don't mind it. Oh, you like cleaning then? I will say you look like someone who'd be good at it. Well... In that case, it's all yours. I'd only slow you down if I'm being honest. As I always say, if you want something done right, let someone else do it themselves. Right, I'm off to run some errands. I'll leave all this in your capable hands.
Wow, Hilda.
Hey, Marianne, are you? Whoa, what happened? This place looks even worse than before. I didn't realize that was possible. I'm sorry, Hilda. I just didn't know the best way to organize the books while sorting. Oh, well, no way around it, I suppose. I'll show you how it's done. First, you have to decide where you'll put each topic. Then, all of the books that don't match that topic, remove them from the section. When you remove them, you need a temporary place to put them. Let's put books on magic here, books on swordsmanship here. Once you've done that, you just put the books back in their sections, like so. Wow, Hilda, that was incredible. Yeah, what kind praise. Looks like in the end, I'm doing this whole thing on my own, Sorry. The least I can do is help you put them back on the shelf.
Ah, so her attempt at getting out of work backfired. Well, that's fun.